gon' rise and in the jungle we unite and tripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who gotta move rockin' on? Now who wanna move tossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock 'em. Yeah, we got 'em. Yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em. Single bottle, never stop it. So the beast on them. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes? Flossin' on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen. We gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins.
Welcome to a special episode of Bengals and Brews. The Drew Sample is back with the Cincinnati Bengals episode.
Sample this!
Yeah. Woo! Take your shirt off, Greg. It's Drew Sample. Woo! Yeah, baby! The signing everyone has been patiently waiting for. The guy we just had to bring back for another season to help us clinch the Super Bowl. Drew Sample.
Oh, God. Happy birthday, Strawberry. We got Drew Sample.
Yep, that was the present for Strawberry Ice.
That's how much we value Strawberry.
We are ecstatic about Drew Sample here at Bengals and Brews. We have always said he is the second coming of Rob Gronkowski. We have said we compare him to Michael Mayer as a prospect because they're both so damn good.
Yeah.
We've been saying this.
Player. But Dale, they're the same player, man. I mean, why do we even need a guy like Michael Mayer, right?
Super Bowl
champ. I mean, no. But like I say, James said in our chat something interesting. It can be two things. Either Wilcox isn't coming back or Asiasi is not coming back.
I think Asiasi's under contract.
But like, I mean, it could come down to one of those two.
A roster spot, yeah. Like maybe his roster spot, he'll have to fight for a roster spot, which, I mean, should.
And look,
he's when the Night Train show, Crip said, Jerome with the Houday, Stranger with the Houday. Stranger was first in here. Chris from New Jersey checking in, as always, our boy.
Yeah.
This James guy, what a dick. What a dick.
James, go away.
Jimmy boy.
God damn it, James.
He never comes in here and watches these shows, Greg. We signed Drew Sample. Guess who's in here?
Yeah, James. Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, James, you come in for Drew Sample. I see how it is, James.
Chris, I do not have any, but my wife gets off work at 4, and I think she picked some up because she works by Kroger's in town. So sooner rather than later, I get off here, I'm going to cut grass. I do have the fireball, as you guys seen, so I'll be hitting that a little periodically throughout this show in celebration, of course, of Drew Sample signing.
Drew Sample.
A 1-year deal. I would have gave him a 20-year, but,
Oh, man, I was hoping for 5 years, $50 million, man.
Why not? Who needs T. Higgins when you can just bring back Drew Sample and get the same production?
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean,
split them out wide.
Remember how happy, Dale, I know we didn't know each other back then. Remember how, but I'm sure you and I were both happy as hell we got Drew Sample. I mean,
when we drafted him, I was like, he's a 6th-round prospect. And the Bengals are taking him in the 2nd. That's some next-level thinking. That was my exact thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, but like I say, I know he was a decent blocker, but like I just don't know.
Now, to be serious, I thought Wilcox would be brought back. I thought he played fairly well as the number 2. I thought they would bring one of them back. I just really did think it would be Wilcox. So sounds like, he's probably not going to be back. So pour some out for Wilcox. I'm not pouring it out.
Yeah, like I say, we'll see. Let's just see how it happens. Does this mean we're not drafting a tight end? Absolutely not. I mean, I still could see us easily double dipping a tight end if we had to.
It takes any pressure off of having to worry about getting one early if the need best player available is not. Because I've said, as much as I like Mayer and think he's an all-around tight end, I don't know 100% I'd go with the tight end in the first round because I like the depth of the class.
Yep.
Now, I know you're worried about a run coming on and not even getting some of these guys at 60, but I think there'll be guys there. I think, honestly, I still believe the 3rd through 5th round is a sweet spot for tight ends in this draft.
Well, let's review this. So, like, Mayer and Kincaid, I mean, by the way, I want to go to Kincaid quick. Kincaid is being really taken seriously a lot lately. All of a sudden, he's, like, really coming up. I mean, he was thrown around there, but, like I know I said I was on Kincaid, but I'm still on the fence. But after Kincaid and Mayer, Laporta's going to be gone. Kraft now, it's not a for sure thing if Kraft's going to be there. After those guys and Darnell Washington, that it goes from like up here to
Musgrave. Musgrave's another guy. I mean, Greg, you just got to think. There's a lot of teams are going to be like, oh, can we wait on tight end? And they're going to be taking those premium positions too. The offensive linemen, the defensive linemen, the corners, teams that need quarterbacks. Those guys are going to go in the first round, and go early and move guys back. So I wouldn't get too stressed. I think there's going to be some guys there. It is the only thing that's concerning. They wanted one last year in the mid rounds, and they just kind of got picked right before then.
Well, you got the goddamn Jets who picked 3 tight ends when they signed 2 tight ends in free agency.
Well, the Ravens, man, the Ravens had remember the Ravens had half the 4th round picks last year.
Right.
They took 3 tight ends, a punter. They had just pick after pick.
Right. Isaiah Likely, I wanted him so badly last year. I got so pissed off when the Ravens took him. I remember.
Yeah, because he was the pass catcher, he was exciting me for I'm not saying he's as good as Kincaid, but just saying that was probably last year's closest thing to Kincaid and Musgrave. I think both those guys are bigger, so they're better. He's a little smaller, but
and Dale,
might be more like Laporta, honestly.
Dale, another thing to point out, I'm not going to bring my co-host's name. I know I keep referencing him, but he made a good point to me and all that. June 1st cuts, there's a big NFL rule. You have 1/3 of your roster, I think, has to be cut. Look at the Jets, for example. You really think they're going to keep all those 5 tight ends on their roster? Something like that. Hey, what's up, Cam?
Coming here.
What's up, Dale?
Smiling here. We're celebrating him here, buddy. We're celebrating.
Yeah.
Sample Natty. Hashtag put it out there.
Yeah, man.
How you doing,
going
buddy?
on, brother?
Buddy, we don't need a tight end, right? We don't need a tight end anymore.
Hey, what's so funny? I just got a text from my boss. She's like, "We re-signed Drew Sample." I'm like, "Oh, I'm just about to hop on, so this is great."
Bengals and Bourbon texted me, and it was about 4 minutes before the show.
Right
Said,
when I was getting fine.
LOL Dell, and then he said, "We re-signed Sample." So I'm looking for the official tweet, and I'm like, "Yeah." And then I was I tweeted out, "Well played, Bengals, well played," right before the show.
Yeah, you just can't make this up. Would have been nice if it was T. Higgins, but, Drew Sample's just as exciting. I mean, the
re-signing we were all waiting on, Drew Sample.
Yeah, this is what we were waiting on, but,
Look, man, he going to be like TE3 probably at best.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Honestly, it's not like he's the guy. We know he's not the guy. Even now, he's not the guy. Irv Smith's going to be the guy already. And then Aussie, he's probably competing with him right now. And that's before the draft even happened. So that's what I was saying. It is what it is. I honestly thought they would bring one back. I just thought it would be Wilcox.
Well, I mean,
Me too.
Coach Cam, one guy sent a group text. It's either, he's either going to replace Aussie, or he's probably going to replace, or that means Wilcox is not coming back. I still want Wilcox back.
I don't think Wilcox is coming back after this. No.
I don't know, but I like Wilcox though. So, as far as being a backup, I thought he did pretty well.
Unless they just completely miss in the draft, I just don't see the need to bring him in, or where he would want to come in and be like, "Oh, I got to compete for a spot." But nobody signed him yet, so maybe we'll be his best option to make it. I don't know. You just never know. That's what I kind of speculated before. I'm like, Wilcox is good enough the way we let him go when we could have easily kept him around with just a minor tag. He was a restricted free agent. So I don't know what the hell is going on with that. Yeah, he visited. Who did he visit? The Panthers? He visited the Panthers?
Cardinals.
Cardinals. So Sample went visit the Cardinals, and the Bengals said, "Oh, shit. No, we got to get him back immediately."
Yeah, I know.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah. Woohoo!
And we're all just so ecstatic about it.
Oh, man. Drew Sample Natty, buddy. I better go tweet that.
Greg, you missed Greg taking his shirt. I said, we hopped on. We were like, woo, Drew Sample. I said, take his shirt off, Greg. He did take his shirt off.
I got to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, you missed the best part, man.
Somebody needs to screenshot that.
I'll definitely go back and watch that.
Yeah, Pork Chop probably is going to screen, or probably James will. Who knows?
Yeah, if I go back, I'll have to clip that part out for sure. Put it on Twitter.
But no, what were we just talking about before Cam hopped on, Dale? What were we talking about?
We're just talking about tight ends. I still think the sweet spot's like third through fifth round. There's just guys I like. You're worried about a run coming on sooner. And I'm not going to be mad if we take a guy at 60 at tight end. Like I got a poll running now. I ran one earlier. If it was like, I'm trying to think of the names. It was Jones, DeJuan Jones, Forbes. Who's the other two?
Kincaid and
Kincaid was one at tight end. I can't remember my own poll. Either way, Forbes won it. He had like 45% of the vote. So out of those, people picked Forbes. So I'm running a second round on right now, and it was like neck and neck between Charbonnet, the running back from UCLA, and Tucker Kraft.
Get Tucker Kraft, fans. We can get a running back in the later rounds. Get Tucker Kraft.
Which I thought about putting Laporta on there. I was like, should I put Laporta or Kraft? But I have Kraft just a little higher, but
Laporta's going to be gone.
I don't know, Greg. I really don't, man. I think that's why we were saying tight ends to me. Like I said, people are going to go after those valued positions. You know, the O line, the D line, the corners. So that a lot of times tight ends slide further than you expect them to. Usually, almost like a half round to a round. So that's why I'm like, man, if you can play this right and get your guy at the end of the third, that's a win. Yeah. And I'm higher on Josh Wiley than a lot of people.
So, Coach Ken, let me ask you this. Dalton Kincaid visited the Bengals. He's been talked up a lot lately. Bottom line, if they picked him at 28, what would your reaction be?
I'll be pissed. I will be stinged at Dalton Kincaid at 28. I don't care if he's been cleared or not. He has documented back issues. You don't play around with anybody having back issues. I'm sorry. You can be clear. Heck, Tyler Eifert was cleared. He was still never the same. I feel like once your back goes, like everything else is next. I wouldn't be happy with that. I wouldn't be happy with that at all. I mean, like I said, I would support him. Hope he does well. Pray he stays healthy and contributes to the offense. But I wouldn't be thrilled with it.
Yeah, it's just the hit, like you've mentioned before on here. It's the history of us taking guys that are coming in with some kind of injury, like not even back per se. And I know everyone says, well, look at Gronk had back. Okay, cool. That's one guy. Name me very many others that anytime a back gets mentioned, they're magically healed and that never pops up again.
Gronk is a athlete coming in the draft. I mean, you're not going to find a Gronk every year. No.
I don't know, Tom, if Washington will make it to 60, but I mean, if he makes it to 60, I'm cool with him at 60. Yeah. I'm not good with him at 28. I think he's too raw as his production and just as a receiver and getting open. People talk about Mayer not getting open. I don't think Washington is going to be able to get open and create separation. No. I think Mayer is better at it than him. So what about you guys, Washington? You think he makes it to 60? And if he's there, would you take him?
You know what? I think he has a better chance of being at 60 than Laporte or maybe even Tucker Kraft because, like you said, with the separation skills. Now, would I take him at 60? I would. He said he had a good meet with the Bengals. I would think about it, but like you said, with that separation, man, I mean, at the goal line, absolutely. But I honestly think I would almost take Laporte or Kraft over him. I know Portup's going to be mad as hell at me for saying that, but I'm just saying what I think.
With me, I think Washington might be there. Like I say, he has all the stuff, the measurables, the combine stuff. But when you look at it, the production hasn't been there. You look at it, he doesn't separate well. Just a lot of work that needs to be, fine tuned there. So you might see him at 60. That's a chance. I think somebody may just take a chance just because he's so athletic and such a physical specimen. Somebody might reach him early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if he's there, I'm cool with. I think that's the value you take a freak like that. You don't want him with your first round pick, but your late second, almost. It's basically like a early third round pick, and that's when you can gamble a little bit on the pure freakishness of this man. I think Jelani Woods, who's still his best comp, who just came out last year. I think Indy got him in the third round. Everybody got so hyped about him. And he didn't really do a lot last year, but I don't think they threw to him a lot. Yeah. So I'm still curious to see how he does. But that's what I'm saying. Like, he went third round, and that's the closest thing to Washington that I've seen. There's just not a lot of 6'7" tight ends.
No.
You don't see that every day.
Absolutely not. But no, I'll tell you what, though, like I said, I'm not going to complain with his blocking ability, what he can do. I mean, with a contested catch, like I say, I'm sure they'd find a way to use him. But like I say, I like you say, he's a unique talent, but he could be the biggest mystery of where he's going to fall.
I would love to be able to get a Kraft, a Laporta, a Josh Wiley, and I would take Wiley at the end of the third even and not be too upset. Where most people are thinking, oh, he's fourth or fifth round. And I'm not, maybe he is. But to me, picking at the end of the third round, if all those other guys, like there is a big run on them, I say screw it. I'm taking Wiley because I had a third round grade on him last year. This year, I've kind of come back around to that because I've just said screw it.
Right.
I want to base it more on when he actually had a team around him and a quarterback than this past year because I don't think it's fair to him as a prospect who's put on weight and become a better blocker. And he's done things to improve his own game.
Yes.
So you combine them with what you've already seen when he had a better offense with him. I think he's underrated right now. And that's like, you guys know, I'm not even a UC guy. So I don't want to hear like, oh, that's being a homer. No, I'm a Ohio State guy. So I'm telling you right now, I just like Wiley. I think he would be fine at the end of the third round, and I wouldn't bitch about it. And if you got Irv Smith back, Drew Sample, Ossie, you could bring in a Josh Wiley, develop him for a year, not basically asking him to take a damn snap. Because Ossie could easily be your number two as a blocker. And if he's not getting it done, then like you say, you got Sample as your third and let him come in as a blocker. Irv's catching those passes. And then Wiley, it's not like he's young. He's been around, like he's played a lot. He came back for that senior year. So if he had to step in halfway through the year because Irv goes down, I would have faith in him getting some production, honestly.
Absolutely. Wiley, Coach Cam, I don't know how often you watched Wiley, but like every time I watched him, I'm like, this dude looks like an NFL tight end. I think the reason why I had a bad year this year is because he didn't have the quarterback situation was just not working out. They kept switching quarterbacks. Last year when they had Desmond Ridder, he was like, I think if he went to last year's draft, he could have been easily a third round. Even with that crowded tight end class. I just didn't think he had a good shot this year because of the quarterback situation. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do agree with you. I watch a lot of UC football. That's what I'm a fan of. And Josh Wiley, he came back, and I felt sorry for him. Like I said, play calling was dreadful. Quarterback play was dreadful. So you couple that, with you're not going to get good production. So, but far as his skill set and everything like that, yeah, I'll take Josh Wiley because let's be honest, like once you get to like rounds 3 and lower or 4 or lower, all these guys can go anywhere between honestly 4th round through 7th, depending on how someone views them. So being at the end of the 3rd round, which is almost like a 4th round pick, Wiley wouldn't be a bad reach.
Yeah, and that's it. And like I said, that's if there is this big run on the guys I have ahead of him, the Laportas and the Crafts. I'm just saying, because to me, if you took one of those guys at 60, I wouldn't be mad. But it's almost like I want to roll the dice and see if they're there in the 3rd. One of them, or because I'm that comfortable with him. And then I'm also, it wouldn't be a play him this year guy, but give me the freak athlete, the 6'7" Kuntz, at the end of the 3rd. Also, like if those guys are going.
Yeah, no, but Dale, I want to say Mel Kiper, I believe. Yeah, Mel Kiper is 2 mock draft, and you're a big fan of him. Payne Durham, he had as a 2nd round pick. Now I know you liked him, but not as a 2nd round pick. Did that?
No, he had Brenton Strange as
Strange
from Penn State, which I have as like a 5th round pick. It shocks me that he'd be all the way up to 2nd, but I do think, if he went in the 3rd, he's another guy that at the end of the 3rd, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of these guys are interchangeable from the 3rd through the 5th. I could see them going anywhere, and it's a solid class, and I think you're going to get a good guy no matter what with all that. It's just getting whoever the Bengals guy is, getting him and not, spending too much of a premium pick. Yeah, okay, so Rowdy's our Clemson guy, and he's saying Brazil playing at D tackle is out of position. He's way better at D end, which is what he played in high school. But to me, then, if you play him at D end, he'll crush it. out of position at D tackle.
I think he's saying for his full potential at DE. I think he meant to say DE, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because if you're saying he'd be better at DN, then I'm out on him.
Yeah.
Because I don't see that as one of our biggest needs. Like, I still don't, because
Right.
once again, like Tom said, you know, we have Basham. We have the guy we got in the 7th round in the draft last year, Gunter. So, and those guys are going to be fighting for a roster spot as is, and that's your back end of your DN room. So, like, with all things considered now, to me, I don't think if Brazil's going to be a DN, I would rather, like, okay, give me Van Ness or give me shit. I'm higher on Tooley than if I want a DN.
What about BJ Ojulari?
Man, I don't know. I have concerns about him, just his athleticism, his overall talent. Like,
Yeah, no, but Brian Breesy, I mean, like, you know how, Cam, you were talking about Kincaid, how he works you. I mean, like, Brian Breesy, kind of the same deal, sort of, you know, he's kind of sounds like a project. I don't want to take a chance on a project at 28. Like, it's kind of the same deal with Kincaid with his injury issues. Oh, God.
They signed Drew Sample.
Happy birthday, Strawberry!
that's for your birthday.
Right.
I just found out they signed Drew Sample. I had to jump on and
Yeah, I found it out 4 minutes before the show started, Iceman.
is your head exploding right now?
I said I'm ecstatic about it.
You're full of shit.
I hope he catches a game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl for the
I
Cincinnati
hope he does
Bengals.
too.
Yeah.
I had to come on and laugh at you. Just good job. Yeah, I love you.
Well, happy birthday, old ass.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday, brother.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Yeah.
What a dick.
But-
I should have known. I should have left him in the back.
Yeah. But no, Cam, as we were talking about Breesy, like, would you want it to, what would your reaction be if we took him at 28?
I mean, look, if he had, they'll put him at DT if they draft him, and I would be okay with that. Like I said, I want pressure, up the middle. I want to get more sacks. I want to create more pressure, especially since we have two new guys at safety. I really feel like it's very important for us to get pass rush and pressure up front with those new guys back there. So, hey, you gotta get pressure on these quarterbacks, man.
Hey,
Like
we did the mock draft for him. The one mock draft where we went on D-line, Greg, was yesterday. We took Breesy, and then we turned around and took Tooley right after in the 2nd round.
Yes, we did.
We also got a trade. They gave us a trade. We moved down one spot with the Saints, and we got like 3 picks, including like a 3rd rounder. We turned that into all kinds of players. It was crazy.
Hey,
For Mozzie Smith. They turned up one spot just to get Mozzie Smith, who we weren't even wanting.
Yeah, and it left us with Breesy, so we're like, all right, cool.
Yeah. Whatever.
But, yeah, I do think if he's coming here, he's still going to play D-tackle. It just worries me, Rowdy, who's watched him his whole time at Clemson, I'm sure knows way more about him than me, who's only watched him a couple times.
same here.
And so that does concern me if he thinks his natural position's DN, because if we draft him, that's not what he's playing here at 6'5", 305. He's playing inside because that's what our need's for. And I feel like that's not too far off from Ogunjobi's body type. I feel like he was a 6'5" guy. I don't know how heavy he was, but
like you said, he sounds like a project. Like, I won't get mad, but I'm just saying, I want a guy like, I was against taking a corner in the 1st round. Emmanuel Forbes, just every time you read about him, I mean, I know he needs to put on weight, but that's what he's doing right now. If that's the only issue, man, sign me up for that. He's putting on weight.
And that's why I said, don't be. Remember a couple weeks ago, I said, don't be surprised if it's corner and a 1st round draft and a 1st rounder. It just wouldn't shock me because, as we saying, like, everybody we're naming right now got something wrong with them where we're like, I don't know about this and I don't know about that. With Forbes, it's just like put on weight.
Yeah.
You got the ball skills, you got the talent, you got the speed, you're a willing tackler. Well, he checked all the boxes of a 1st round pick.
Yeah.
Where you're not guessing so much of it will he pan out or is this, a project or, he has this much improvement, he'll be ready to go right away.
I got to put this up here for Greg.
Yes,
yeah, I seen that today, Greg. Did you see it? Did you get excited? Zeke working out?
Dale, why are you even asking me that question?
You're right. That's fair.
Zeke, I tweeted Zeke Daddy, I think. Oh, I retweeted, quote tweeted Zeke Daddy, buddy. Come on.
Yeah, it's feeling that way to me too. Like it just, and I'm still like, you know what? I'm going to be excited because I love the talent of Forbes. What I don't love is he's probably sitting on the bench most of the season because even if Wuzie is struggling, guess what? They're probably going to leave him out there to struggle because he needs the reps to get healthy for the second half of the season. So, like, as much as we talk about that as a reason to take a guy, it does concern me that, like, they'll still play him and then Forbes is set. But Forbes probably a hell of a gunner, you know, for a season or whatever. I don't know. I want somebody to make an impact, but like you said, Cam, honestly, you start being realistic about the guys that's there and what we have on our team. How many are going to be the instant come in and make an impact guys in the first round? Because maybe a running back, because if you are getting rid of Mixon, maybe that's why, like Bijan, to me, would be an easy pick at this point for the Bengals. He's just not going to get there.
Well, no, what we were talking about, if you're talking about a guy that's there 28 who would contribute the most, that goes to Gibbs, right? In a heartbeat. That would be the biggest contributor is Jahmyr Gibbs easily. If we're talking the biggest contributor of any player, it's Jahmyr Gibbs in a heartbeat because he'd be starting.
Maybe. I don't know. Everything's leaning Forbes. Now we'll see. It seems like everything leaning a guy's way that for whatever reason that it's not going to work out.
Right.
We'll see if it all comes full circle. It's going to come right back and we'll be picking between like Michael Mayer and DeJuan Jones. Like this whole process started.
Oh, no, that's what's fun about that.
You never know.
Yeah.
Or like we'll be like, all right, here they go. They're going to take Forbes, but, you know, they take Darnell Washington or some crazy shit. Like, I don't know. You just don't know, man. That's the fun part about the draft, right? We don't have no inside information.
No, it's fun guessing, man. It's like
I don't even think Lapham has it anymore because he used to nail those picks every year until Zach took over. Zach took over.
Last year, he said Andrew Booth, and Andrew Booth was sitting there. I was ready for when Karlaftis got picked, which killed me. I was ready the words Andrew Booth. When I saw Dax Hill, that just shocked me. I don't know about you guys, but yeah.
Well, I was like, Dax Hill is the next most talented player on the board, so it made sense at that point. But I was disappointed because I made it very clear I love Karlaftis. Dustin Kraft, thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate that very much. Bengals' last images was the Bengals corners getting beat with speed against KC. Hilton struggled. We get more speed back there with Forbes. But Hilton's going to be into your slot no matter what.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it is a passing league and corners, and honestly, injuries happen. So at some point, you would expect Forbes probably in the lineup if he's the pick. He's probably playing come playoff time because of something. I mean, at least based on recent history.
Well, and can we agree on this? Ludini will figure out a way to fit him in at times. He may not get him any reps, but Ludini will figure out a way to fit him in, even because he plays a lot of corners at times. I could see that happening with Forbes. Like I say, Ludini will find a way.
What do you think, Cam?
Look, you can't never have too many corners. I think Joe Goodberry said it. The fourth corner this year for us played over 1,000 snaps. So that lets you know corners do get injured, they get hurt, and having four corners is not a bad thing. And like I said repeatedly, on the show, we got to ease Cheeto back. We can't expect him to come out there and play 65 snaps at a high level from a torn ACL. It's just not reasonable to think that, and it's not realistic. Now, if he comes back and kills it, that's great. Like that's totally, and I'm not doubting the Wuzie at all. It's just you just see the history at the position.
Yeah, I agree.
You tear that ACL, it normally takes the
historically,
to get back right.
You can't count on it. Like if he does, it would be rare.
It's like a bonus if he does.
Yeah, for sure. But see, I still go back to like where we signed Sidney Jones, and I'm like, isn't that our corner 4?
Yeah,
like. Where, like, when Joe says that stuff.
His contract is so, like,
he
nothing.
could be. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I do.
It would just be, they may go in and look at him in preseason like, and they can just kind of, let him go. I'm not saying he won't do well, but it's never.
Yeah. I don't know. I've kind of always liked him, even, like, coming out of the draft and stuff. But there's probably a reason he bounced around a couple teams and stuff last year. So.
What? Hey, Dale, when we had Brian Bosarge on ISIS show, were you surprised to hear him say that he's counting out safety? I mean, I never expect safety to be big, but Branch, I thought it would at least be considered. Would that surprise you guys that they're not?
I think we're one of the only. I mean, I don't know. I don't watch everybody's shows too much, but I feel like nobody talks about it. You just don't talk about it. But we just done so many mock drafts that Brian Branch has been available so many times. We've had the conversation.
Well, heck, man, no deal. My giveaway thing, where I have 25 people, I don't even have Branch in there. Cam, you're added to the list. You get Dion Branch. You win $25. We draft him. You're automatically you're on my list now.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Who do I have, Greg? I don't remember.
Bijan Robinson. You got drawn Bijan Robinson.
That'd be good if it happened. He just ain't gonna get there.
Yeah, but no. You got so if the Alabama safety branch is there, Cam, you win $25 out of my Greg Luther fund that I do every year.
All right, sounds good. I'll take Branch.
That's
I like money. I like money with nothing invested in it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Who
not
has
like
Forbes, Greg?
money. I get people complaining at me. You're not losing money. This is money out of my pocket here.
Who has Forbes? Because I'd say right now that's probably like odds-on favorite, right?
Well, my
Forbes,
my 3-week-old niece has DeJuan Jones. I'd have to get off my phone and look.
That's all good. You can let us know some other time who has Forbes.
Yeah, no, Cam, I'm adding you to the list. You got Branch.
Crip, so damn excited. Yeah, if you haven't heard, if you were late getting on here and you haven't seen the breaking news, Drew Sample is back with the Cincinnati Bengals on a 1-year deal. He is going to help us get to the promised land. He is the man, the myth, the legend, Drew Sample, 12-inch cock, hands, whatever else you want to say about him. He's just incredible. What else needs to be said about him?
Exactly.
We got another super chat from Rowdy this time. Appreciate it. Do we really need a tight end in the first round? Irv Smith can get you 700 yards, assuming health always. I feel like I always have to say that with him. How much more will a tight end drafted in the first get us? Smith is solid.
I wouldn't say first round. I wouldn't bank on Irv Smith giving us 700 yards either. You got to look at, the usage of, the tight ends and also who we have. We still have Boyd on this roster. We still have Higgins on this roster. We still have Jamar Chase on this roster. And we still have Mixon on this roster, who set career high in catches. And with teams playing us more too high, you're going to see more running backs get catches. I still don't think we don't need one in the first round. However, we have to draft one, though. We have to draft one. You can't go in with tight end 2 as Mr. Sam, with Mr. Sample.
And everybody's on like 1-year deals.
Yeah.
We need somebody in the room that's going to be here.
Yeah. So eventually you want to draft someone who Burrow can build chemistry with for the long term and not just these 1-year in and outs.
But I'm with you that we definitely don't have to take one in the first.
No,
that's what
I
said.
Round.
Even if Michael Mayer's there, and I'm very high on him that in the fact that I think he's tight end 1 and that he can do everything, and he's going to be a very solid NFL tight end. I'm very confident in saying that just based on his production and everything about him and how he's, everything that I've watched on him, just everything.
Dale.
Even saying that, I've said all along that I don't know I would take him in the first round, depending who else is there. It's the whole positional value stuff too, And if a class is deep at tight end, and you can wait and get another guy at that position, then maybe you do it, and you get the offensive tackle, you get the D lineman so you can pressure Patrick Mahomes. You get the corners so you're going to be able to. I mean, it's the same stuff. Cam goes on and on about on here, on getting the pressure and having to cover quarters. And anybody that watches football, we've got the quarterback. That's premium position number 1. But the other 3 is O-line, which we've worked on. Still want that right tackle spot solidified. D-line, we got a pretty good one. Just could use some 3-tech juice from the interior to make everybody's job easier, in my opinion. And another step from Osai would help with that, too. And then corner, we've got solid corners, but Awuzie coming off the injury. And we got a lot of guys on 1-year deals. Awuzie's deal's up. Sidney Jones is 1 year. Hilton has 2 years. and he's a slot corner. CTB's here for a while, but that's why if you add another corner, man, you've just replenished your depth in that room like that.
Yeah. Dale, you're not going to like this. Guess who has Emmanuel Forbes?
I don't know, Greg.
Ice.
Iceman.
Yeah.
Iceman with the dumb luck.
Yeah, I know. No kidding.
We'll see. Hey, we don't know who's going to be drafted. I'm just saying that's probably the odds-on favorite right now is Emmanuel Forbes.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, they went. My family's like, well, Greg, you're including your 3-year-old niece. I'm like, your 3-week-old niece. So I'm like, yeah, you're going to spend the money yourself if she wins, obviously. So yeah, I'll make sure that doesn't happen.
Set her up a college fund, starting with that $25, Greg.
No shit. No, I'll get her like some Bengals gear or something. I'll figure out something. But I'm not giving them straight up cash, so they're probably going to spend it.
All right, so we can get back to the draft here. I do want to get to how I titled the show before this breaking news of Drew Sample.
Yeah.
Right before the show started. This incredible breaking news. So I want to do Mount Rushmore, all the offensive positions. So a quarterback, a running back, one wide receiver, tight end, and then just O-line I'm just doing as one. I'm not breaking that down. Like,
yeah,
Mount Rushmore guards, you know.
Right.
So we'll start with quarterbacks. And the thing is, there's 3 of us. So we got to come to a consensus on the 4, Greg. So you can't just yell and say, fuck you to everybody. If me and Cam have another choice than yours, you can't just go insane and start waving your bat around and hitting stuff.
Well,
It's got to be civil, Greg. It's got to be civil.
I don't do such things. Cam knows that.
I don't know. Like 1 minute you like me,
Well, Cam, man, if
1
you
minute you hate me.
well, Cam, then I'm sorry you don't know what you're talking about half the time. I just have a problem with that, man.
And we'll obviously take some input from the chat, from our Brew Crew people in the chat, because we appreciate you guys' viewpoint. And honestly, if you know some of these guys that are older and got a stronger argument, I'm more than willing to listen to that because, you know, I obviously didn't see some of these guys really play, but I did try to look at some stats and things like that, the Bengals history book again, and check on that to get a better idea and familiarize myself with at least some of the names with their numbers compared to other players at their positions. So starting off with quarterbacks, Mount Rushmore, I've got 2 that I'm like completely locked in on.
Oh, yeah.
That I think are definitely up there. Who do you think that is, Greg? Who's my 2?
Boomer, and Kenny, obviously.
Yeah. Are we
them given?
Do we all agree with that? There's 2 of our 4. Now we got to pick 2 more to represent our Mount Rushmore Cincinnati Bengals quarterback.
Joe Burrow.
Does Burrow count?
Well, I've got a name written down. It's part of the conversation, right?
Yes.
All right,
The answer is yes.
Yes.
Yes. 5.
Yes. Okay. Burrow's
Look,
number 3. Number 4, Jeff Blake. Done.
Hold on now.
Oh my God.
I want to.
And I love it. Jeff Blake is my favorite Bengal of all time.
Okay, I'll get this one out of here quick. Carson Palmer could have been, right?
No.
We're going to X him out because just
X who else? I'm sorry.
Carson Palmer. No.
Oh yeah, he doesn't get it.
Hell no.
I said he could have been, but you know the way.
Yeah,
he
could have
messed
been.
himself
No.
up. Yeah.
So then you said Jeff Blake, and you guys said Joe Burrow. I have those names written down. I got 2 more names written down on here. Andy Dalton and John Kitna.
I like Kitna more than I like Dalton.
Kitna, we gotta remove him. Let's remove John Kitna right there.
Wasn't here long enough. Didn't do it. He had like 2 good seasons. It was just.
No, I'm mad at John Kitna. After Carson got hurt, he still could have won that playoff game. He was caught crying in the locker room. He has to go.
No. So right now, Rowdy, this isn't just all players. Right now, we're doing by position because that's what I mean. A lot of people would have a certain 4 or close to a certain 4, like Munoz on everybody, you know.
Yeah,
but yeah, I want to do one by position because it's just a little different. Something a little different. We're trying to mix it up. So we got Boomer, Ken Anderson, and now we're down to 3 of these guys for 2 spots: Andy Dalton, Jeff Blake, and Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
And am I missing anybody?
I'm going Joe Burrow and Jeff Blake, man.
Thank you, Cam. Oh my God.
I'm going Jeff Blake because I feel like if you put Jeff Blake with AJ Green, Marvin Jones, and all them, we win a playoff game.
I'm willing to go ahead and give Burrow because we went to the Super Bowl. We've been going to AFC
5 playoff
Championship.
wins in 2 years.
Dude,
He clipped our franchise record.
So I'm willing to already put Burrow on there, even though, man, part of me hates to do that because, like, man, it's been 3 years.
I don't care, man.
But no, I know, or 4 years, whatever, 3-4 years, whatever. 3, yeah, it's crazy.
Yes.
It's crazy,
Burrow in there,
dude.
But you have to put him on there, right? He's
He's
accomplished
number one on
that much.
I'll take number 1 on my list.
I agree. It's just conversation, Greg. Conversation.
Okay, and we're having a conversation right now.
And then, man, you guys know that I've never been like big Andy Dalton guy.
Yeah, grilled cheese doesn't sound good right now.
But he was here for a long time and went to a lot of playoff games.
No,
Did Jeff Blake go to any playoff games?
Was 5 straight playoff appearances. He did win division titles. I get it.
Haters. Every one of them coming in here, Greg, just to talk shit.
Yeah, but no, look, Jeff Blake, I know he didn't get to the playoffs, but I'm like, Cam just said here, if he had the team that Andy had, he would have won one playoff game at least.
I want the chat's opinion here between Andy Dalton and Jeff Blake before we lock this in. And all I'm getting is sample and talking about wide receivers. Y'all can't focus for 5 minutes, Brew Crew. That's why you're my people. Because we get drunk and we just start talking about some random other shit than what the topic is.
Yeah.
I feel you. I do it all the time. Oh, Matt. Bengals and Bourbon saying Andy Dalton way better than Jeff Blake.
Whoa. What's going on here?
We got another.
God damn it, Matt. Stop.
Yeah, you gotta chill. Jeff Blake was. Oh my god.
Jungle Jerry's coming through with Dalton.
I think people are forgetting how good Jeff Blake was. Like
I really like Jeff Blake. I love that moonball baby was beautiful.
He played some. No, I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying some of the people in the chat. Like Dalton had the perfect team. He had a top 5 defense. He had a top 5 offensive line before
5 playoffs in a row.
Like, look at the teams he had though, y'all. Like he had top 5 line, top 5 defenses, and he could not win a playoff game.
Man, you guys are starting to lose this according to the chat.
I don't care about the chat. Matt's just doing
Jeff Blake had 30 ranked defenses. He had a terrible O-line, and he still made it fun to watch the Bengals because of Debo.
All right, you know what? This one, I'm gonna put out a Twitter poll, and we'll circle back to because I don't know any fair way to do it, guys.
Oh my God,
I get it. I get it.
Okay, no. If you want to do it just because we said the majority of us on the show, then we'll
no. Do it for vote, fan vote.
Okay.
Now I know Dalton's gonna win, but Jeff Blake's the better quarterback.
It's a recency bias, right? That
we're screwed.
Jeff Blake was better. Foxy said Jeff Blake.
Hey, shout out to my boy Justin Lack. Pull up Justin Lack, my boy Lack, my buddy Lack's comments. What he said about Andy on prime. Dalton puts his tail between his legs whenever he's on prime time. Thank you.
Like, it's not our fault we was so bad as a team that we didn't Jeff Blake didn't get a chance to play on prime time.
I know. All right. Yeah. Well, I ain't putting out a poll. I don't feel like it.
You got to put out a poll.
I don't even care.
Maybe I'll put one out later.
Yeah.
Receiver's going to be the hardest one to do.
But for now, we're going to go with Jeff Blake because that's the 2 of 3 of us here co-hosting this show today went with Jeff Blake. I can't believe I'm the one that went with Andy Dalton, honestly.
Thank you.
I'm shocked.
I don't even like myself right now. Between the Drew Sample thing and his Andy Dalton thing, my mind ain't right, you know? I got some issues, KM. But that's the 4 we'll go with them. We'll kind of do a poll to put out. Another $5 super chat. Allergic to he went to 5 straight playoffs. How many did he win? That's the thing. Like, and they had such a good team. And AJ McCarron kind of got us closer to winning.
Yes,
I mean, even though that was more of a defense, really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He didn't do nothing for 3 quarters either.
No, but he didn't do anything. He didn't turn the ball over. He didn't hand J.J. Watt a touchdown like that one year Dalton did.
Exactly.
Like some shit like that. But I'm just saying, I don't know, man. I'm cool with going with Blake because, man, he was just fun to watch. And those teams were fun. They might not have, always won all the games, but they were fun.
No, Jeff Blake said it on an interview one time. He was when they were trying to stay at Cincinnati. They said they did a presentation with him on the cover of the future of this team and all that. So because of Jeff Blake, we're still in Cincinnati here. Keep that in mind.
Well, I was gonna say, like people were talking about Tom's mentioning Jones and Burfict, but I mean, come on, man. Can we talk about Joey Porter on the field, that's a flag. You can't have no assistant coach out there chirping.
Nobody ever talks
Can
about
we talk about the O-line coach, Mike Munchak, or whatever the cunt's name was, that pulled Reggie Nelson's fucking hair on the sideline? Like, what the fuck? No flag on that. We got straight bent over and fucked during that game. So, I'm that 2015 hurt so bad. That's why I'm glad now we ain't talking about winning a playoff game and shit, because, man, that one, honestly, I felt done. I felt so defeated after that one in 2015.
That I almost was done.
I felt just like, fuck this. I can't do this to myself. This is back to my mentals.
I was this close to being done. I'm like,
think how bad I
feel.
I'm crying, celebrating with my brother,
Right.
And then that fumble happens.
Jeremy.
And then it's just straight anger. And like,
it was crazy.
It wasn't even anger. It was like shock.
Yeah.
Like,
Dale, Dale, my birthday was the next day, and I had to go in because it snowed. How do you think I felt? It was bad enough to deal with the loss. Happy birthday.
Tom Brooks said Blake built a stadium.
Yes, he did. They said he said in an interview.
That's pretty good to get you on a Mount Rushmore right there.
There you go.
All Andy Dalton did was build a grilled cheese sandwich.
Yes, he did.
All right. So our Mount Rushmore for quarterbacks: Ken Anderson, Boomer Esiason, Jeff Blake, and Joe Burrow, because Joe is accomplishing things that some of these guys were never able to do, and he's only in year 3. Woo-wee! Build a statue, baby. He gets us that Super Bowl.
Oh, he gets that Super Bowl. Yeah, you got to build a statue right outside of Payne.
Oh, my gosh. He can still be playing and go ahead and put the statue out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm fine with it. All right, running back. I have 2 names circled here, but they might not be the ones you guys, but both of them might not be ones you would have.
It better be Corey Dillon.
I do have Corey Dillon.
Okay.
Consensus, unanimous.
4. Yes.
Who do you guys think?
James Brooks.
James Brooks is the other one I have circled.
Okay. You have James Brooks?
Okay.
I thought you might have said
Icky, that's consensus. We can put James Brooks in.
What about Icky?
No.
Well, to me is a tougher conversation.
What?
I'm having trouble. I didn't want to just give Joe Burrow his spot based on what he's done in 3 years. But I'm supposed to give Icky his spot based on what he did for 1 season.
Yeah, look.
I know he's a fun guy.
I love the Icky shuffle.
Yeah.
It's great.
We're going to get hate on this one,
was
Cam.
a glorified goal line back who punched him.
Oh, my Cam, man. Oh, my God.
He was good that 1 year. Nobody
I got a question for you, Greg.
Right,
now, this don't have to be even people that's on the Mount Rushmore.
Right.
Would you put him over Rudy Johnson?
Yes.
Oh, you're crazy.
Rudy Johnson
he's the lead.
Cam, are you kidding me? I put Cedric Benson over Rudy Johnson.
Okay, listen. Let me get my names, so then this can help narrow it down too, because we still got it. We all agreed on James Brooks and Corey Dillon as 2 of the 4. We need 2 more.
Cedric Benson.
Would you calm the fuck down? I got Rudy Johnson on the list, like you guys said. Here's a name, a little older, Pete Johnson.
Yeah.
I've got Cedric Benson, because when he was here, he had a good run of 4 or 5 years, whatever it was.
About 3.
3. Yeah. And then Joe Mixon. Maybe this one's controversial, but he's been pretty damn good.
No, yeah.
And then I do have Icky Woods as a potential. And maybe I'm missing some people. I know somebody said Gio on there, but I just don't think I give Gio enough. Like, I don't know. He didn't do enough.
Hey, Greg, can you answer a question for me?
Oh, no. Here we go.
I just want to know, who's the single season record holder in rushing?
I'll
name it for you, but Rudy Ali Johnson.
Is it Rudy? I mean, look, Rudy was terrible.
Yeah, it's at 1,458 yards. Yes, it is.
Damn, he was so overrated, man. I mean, look, I liked Brian Leonard more than Rudy Johnson.
At the end of the day, you could argue what he is. These are the stats. In his 3 years in his prime, he had 1,454 yards, 1,458 yards, 1,309 yards.
Look at the money.
Now put up Cedric Benson's. Let's figure his 3 good years.
Benson was more consistent, I thought, though.
No. He
Cam,
wasn't.
look at the offensive line Rudy had. He had Willie Anderson. I could run behind Willie Anderson.
Hey, I'm not about to say who he get. That's not his fault who he had.
All right. No.
But I seen that name earlier too. I don't know enough about Paul Robinson. He wasn't like.
Yeah, I mean, no, I just can't. I don't know. Whatever.
All right, here goes.
Well,
right
I agree with Rudy Johnson. So that's two of us. So I'm putting Rudy Johnson down.
You gotta put. Look, Greg. Look, here goes Cedric Benson 3 years. 1,251 yards, 1,111 yards, 1067. That's nothing on Rudy's. Nothing.
What has Mixon? Can you pull up Mixon's? Because
Yeah,
this is like, and then we'll bring up Icky Woods. Like,
yeah, but Icky Woods was a different. All right, he's more of a fullback. I will agree on that.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, like, we all love Icky, but I can't put him on the Mount Rushmore of running backs for the Bengals.
I can't either.
Fine.
Corey Dillon, James Brooks, Rudy Johnson, and now we need one more spot fill between Pete Johnson, Cedric Benson, Joe Mixon. I'm Xing out Icky Woods. He's out.
All right, fine.
All right, yeah, we got Joe Mixon in 2018. He had 1168. 2019, 1131. 2020 he got injured, but in 2021 he had 1205. That's even better than Benson. If we talk about a 3-year window of when they prime. Benson's not on the Mount Rushmore.
Just add Rudy to just add him.
Oh, we already added Rudy. We need one more.
So what are we
Rudy on there. I'm fighting for Rudy. I'll jump on the table for Rudy.
All right, so is it Cedric or Mixon?
Is Pete Johnson, Cedric Benson, or Joe Mixon?
You got to give it to Pete. Pete Johnson was really damn good in his prime.
I'm going Joe Mixon.
Yeah, you know what? I guess you got to go Joe Mixon. I'll go with Mixon.
I mean,
I'm cool. Like,
yeah,
either
it's
one.
definitely
I
Joe
don't know
Mixon.
enough about Pete Johnson. Like, this is when I wish who's the guy who's always on with Jim.
Tom Justin. He'd be good to have in this argument.
Yeah, we might have to get more for Tom if he's got a.
Yeah.
But for now, we'll go with Mixon, and maybe that's us, and somebody can say later, like, well, Pete Johnson. We'll be like, okay.
No doubt.
We weren't against it.
If we ever get Tom on the show, we should have him review all this and see what he says.
But I'll go with Joe Mixon. That's what I mean. Like, we'll see. He could still be back and still put up some big numbers. He's only 26 years old.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's in the conversation for the Mount Rushmore.
No, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
But Rudy Johnson's on that motherfucker, Greg.
Yeah, you
stop it and move on.
Stop hating on Rudy Johnson.
Look, man, I made a deal with you guys. Don't rub it in, okay? This is very hard for me right now.
That's what she said.
Oh, God.
Wide receiver, 3 out of 4.
I can't do this one. This one's going to
I have 3 out of 4.
Go for it.
Can you guess them?
AJ Green, Chad Johnson, and Jamar Chase.
No. AJ and Chad, yes.
Pickens?
No.
What? Chris Collinsworth?
Ooh, you
Isaac
can't
Curtis.
just dismiss him like that.
Isaac Curtis, yeah. Okay.
Isaac Curtis. I've got a clear 3, Cam. I'm not dismissing any of these other guys. I'm saying I have a clear 3 to me that should be on there.
Okay.
Isaac Curtis.
Oh, the third is
Chad,
Isaac
AJ,
Curtis
and
then, right?
Yes, Isaac Curtis
Isaac
was
Curtis.
the third one.
No.
To me, those 3
Yes. Add them
are
on.
a list like,
Yeah.
Add them on. Yes.
legends.
But
Ring
the
of
fourth
Honor
one-
guys. All 3 of them are Ring of Honor guys.
Yeah.
Already,
No,
Yes.
but Dale, the fourth one, you could think of, we have such a good history. You could literally think of 6 or 7 guys. It could be TJ, Collinsworth. It could be.
I'll give you my list, and then if anybody in the chat has names to add it, like I was looking all this up.
All right.
So I got Hushmanzada,
Yeah.
Carl Pickens,
Mhm.
Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Collinsworth, Darnay Scott, and Eddie Brown.
Downtown Eddie Brown. I gotta go.
It's a lot. Like I've got.
No,
I
this
got
is hard.
6 guys for one, or what? 7 guys for one spot.
I mean, but can we agree? Chase and Higgins will be ahead of Pickens at the end of their careers. But right now, Cam, can we agree? Right now, we'd have to say Pickens, right?
Right now. I'm going with Carl Pickens.
Yeah, Chase is close. It's close, but I got to go Carl Pickens.
I was, and
But,
that's kind of why I have them in the order I have them in.
Yeah.
Hushmanzada, Pickens, Chase. It's my personal like. I'm a coin flip between Pickens and Hushmanzada, and then also,
hey,
everyone coming in here just a. Hey, here's the thing. I can take it. I ain't gonna pout like a little bitch about it.
Well, what's
I'm
up,
ecstatic
guys?
with
What's
the new
up?
sample signing.
Hey, Derek, who is your Mount Rushmore Bengals wide receivers?
You put me on the spot here.
We've got Chad Johnson, Isaac Curtis, and AJ Green as 3 out of the 4. Hushmanzada, Pickens, Chase, Higgins, Collinsworth, Darnay Scott, and Eddie Brown are in the conversation.
I would have to put Chris Henry in there just for the simple fact that, like,
didn't do
the
enough,
promise.
man.
No, but the promise that he had, and with everything that happened, I mean,
that don't get you on Mount Rushmore. Maybe JFK had some promises. Ass got shot. He didn't end up being a president to do enough to be on the actual Mount Rushmore.
George Washington got shot, and he didn't do much, did he?
George Washington, the first fucking president ever. What the fuck are you smoking?
Abraham Lincoln got shot.
Yeah, he did too. Or no, Washington, he didn't get shot, did he?
I don't know. He's damn.
But anyway, who is your fourth? Me and Cam said Carl Pickens as of right now. It's Chase and Higgins will probably be past Carl Pickens.
There's going to be people that bang the drum for Collinsworth. I'm just not one of those people.
Me neither.
If you're talking Rushmore as in just statistics, I don't think he could. But I mean, Collinsworth has done a lot for the city.
All right, we'll start you back where we were. So we had some easy ones at quarterback with Ken Anderson, Boomer, and we put Burrow on there already. He's just done enough.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't 100% the three of us together on this one, but they put Jeff Blake over Andy Dalton.
I don't know. Dalton did more than Blake.
Oh,
see, we're back to
that. Everything, though.
Don't had everything.
Listen, you're talking to a Shake and Blake believer right here. All right.
Jeff Blake, my favorite quarterback of all time. Like
Blake.
Not the best, but he's my favorite. That's different. So
I definitely love the moon ball and everything.
Yes.
How is this embarrassing? What is embarrassing, Tom? You want a link? You can come on and school us?
Yeah.
I think our list has been solid. I think there's a conversation for between Blake and Dalton. I think that's why I said that's a Twitter poll we're going to put out later. But we went ahead and went with Blake,
Yeah.
And then with running backs, we did Corey Dillon, James Brooks. That's 2 I had coming in. Then we said we didn't care about Greg's feelings. We put Rudy Johnson on there.
Yeah.
I'm pissed off over that. I like that.
And then we went with Mixon over Pete Johnson, Cedric Benson. And Icky only had the 1 year, so me and Cam wasn't having that.
Mixon's actually, I think he's only 200-something yards away from being, fourth all-time in rushing or?
Probably. That's what I mean. If he stays around, he's going to break a lot of records.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a lot of receiving yards last year.
Yeah.
And then receiver, which is what we're on. Chad, Isaac Curtis, AJ Green. Those are the easy ones.
Yeah.
What's our fourth, man? They said Carl Pickens.
So Dale, you got Hush, right?
I think if I had to say one, I would have.
It would be between Hush and Carl Pickens for me.
I'm good with Carl Pickens.
That's everybody.
I'm good with Carl Pickens.
I will pick with Carl. I'm picking Carl Pickens.
Yeah, I'm going Pickens.
All right.
There you go.
We're putting Pickens. Now, do I think Chase or Higgins can get on the? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Those guys re-signed. We're going to see them jumping up, bumping at least. Pickens' spot is definitely up for grabs for one of those guys.
Easily.
If they have the career like we expect. The problem might be bumping anyone out if they both have the careers and stay here.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Tight ends. This is one. We just haven't had a lot of great tight ends, especially lately.
I was going to say, I wouldn't do tight ends because
I had Bob
really weren't a
Trumpy.
thing.
You have
Bob Trumpy, Rodney Holman, Tony McGee, and Dan Ross. That is our 4 stat leaders.
Yep.
And to me, I'm like, shit, I can't argue
Eifert
with
ain't up there?
I take Eifert over.
Eifert's 5th, Gresham 6th, and then you got like Reggie Kelly. I added on the list because he was a good blocker, but he wasn't stats wise.
I would take Eifert over McGee.
Hell, Drew Staples 15th overall on that fucking list. This is my fault. I read that today and went Drew Staples 15th overall receiving on the list, and he's played like never.
But Dale, I take Eifert over McGee.
You know, Eifert, man, he only had like
Eifert,
very small amount of
He had
One good year.
Dale, I don't care. I'll still take
One
it.
good year, yep.
That's like saying
But
Icky Woods, man.
that
One
was
year
the
to me
promise,
don't get you
though,
on
too.
Mount Rushmore. Then
Dale,
these guys who
seriously.
bust their ass for 6-7 years for this organization.
Yeah, I agree.
If one good year puts you there, then Hayden Hurst deserves to be in consideration because
All
he had a
right.
hell of a year last year. Didn't put up much numbers, but
All right.
Yeah.
it just
He
seems like
felt
every
his
time we got
impact.
targeted.
Yeah, you felt his impact.
I got to go with the guys who were here, the older guys that was around longer.
Yeah.
Trumpy, Holman,
Yeah.
McGee, and Ross.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like, and hey,
I would take one of them names off and put Eifert on there just because of the 2015 season.
oh, you and Greg. Once you and Greg go get a room, fuck each other for 1 year.
Is this Dale's the only voice that matters here,
I guess so.
Me and Cam.
or well, Dale? I guess that's true. Dale and Cam.
All right.
No, I just thought, okay, well, it's the same argument we had before you come on here about Icky Woods, like the 1 year thing. I can't put a guy on Mount Rushmore for one season.
Yeah, but he crushed a beer can on his head and drank it for a touchdown dance.
And he likes to hunt. Don't put your personal in this, Derek.
And
Don't put your personal in this.
okay, maybe I'm getting too personal with this one. I feel like I could crush a few beers with this guy and then go out in the woods somewhere.
Exactly.
and
You
shoot
just
some stuff.
want him on your best friend hangout. I know how you feel about Eifert.
That's the truth. You're
O-line. I
finding me
think
out
this
for
one's
your-
easier, right? This one to me.
Are we doing O-line or just?
Are you going to do tackle?
O-line in general. So Munoz, duh. Like,
Yeah.
I have 4 of 4
Duh.
on here. I'll let you guys try to guess after Munoz. My other 3.
Willie Anderson.
Obviously,
Yeah.
Willie.
Yes. Do you guys
Whitworth.
all agree? Yeah, I have Whitworth. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
And
Yep.
one more.
Max Montoya.
That's who I have.
I was going to say the center that we drafted, but you got to put.
that's
Does Legacy not?
What
my
about
four
Rich
is-
I
Brown?
feel like Legacy would.
okay,
would have
so
something
my
to do
my
with it.
next grouping of 4, it starts with Rich Braham,
That's who I got.
and then Bobby Williams, Clint Bowling, and Dave Lapham.
Not even close to any of them.
The only reason why I would say Rich Brown is because it literally took us 20 years to find another center, like 25 years.
It did, yeah.
What?
Like once we lost Rich Brown,
right, a D tackle?
we saw Bodine, we saw Cal Cook, we saw Guycheck, we saw
God.
some garbage at center, man. Like that really made us look like Rich Brown was that dude.
Who was that North Carolina guy we drafted that was just horrible? Russell Bodine.
Bodine, he was terrible.
Oh, my God. People were like,
Yeah, no, I really like Richie Braham. Trust me, like very high on Rich Braham.
Yeah.
When he got hurt, and that was basically the end of his career, that fucking set us back.
but dude, the other guys were just a hell of a lot better, man. I mean, Max Montoya.
Billy Price. There you go, Tom.
Why are we talking Crumry?
Yeah, really.
That's a defensive lineman.
That's a
Yeah.
D tackle. We're talking O line,
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
But
I'm
to me,
cool.
Maybe they
Munoz,
just heard line.
Munoz,
Yeah, I
Willie,
think they heard a line. Yeah,
Whitworth, and Max Montoya, man, was
we can
really,
put that
really
4
good.
up there. That's fine. I got a soft spot for Richie Brown.
Yeah.
No, like, hey, he's my 5th. So, like I said, he's like the guy who just misses
Right.
it.
Max Montoya stays there.
Yeah, I agree.
So if they ever add another face to Mount Rushmore, we'll throw him in there.
All right. That's
That's
fine.
fair.
Yeah. It makes some of this easier. It'd make that first one easier too. Jeff Blake and Andy Dalton, you both up there. And then what do we got to give you, Greg? Rudy's staying in running back. Rudy, Corey, James Brooks. We said Joe Mixon. Who would you put as a fifth?
Cedric Benson.
Over Pete Johnson and Icky?
No. Tom would kill me. Probably Pete Johnson.
All right.
Benson was my guy back in the day.
I love Benson. He was.
And then will we add Hushmanzada as of now for a fifth receiver?
Yes. Yes.
You know, by the way, don't think I didn't like Benson. I like Benson. Only thing with Benson was he would break that line and then trip over himself. Like he would be like, God, you would be like, oh, and he would stumble and fall. You like, oh, he could have gained like 50. Right. And he
wait a minute.
For this stuff.
Should Gio be in the conversation?
I feel that.
Somebody mentioned Gio, and he's very good, but he just, I don't know, he didn't have.
I think he deserved to be on the list to talk about, but not as far as on the Rushmore.
Yeah.
But if we were doing a fifth, we all agree we'd add Eifert as the fifth then for tight ends. That's what I mean. There wouldn't even be arguments if it wasn't four. We'd all be pretty sold on the five pretty easily. So that's why it's four. They got to make it difficult for us.
Yeah.
So, Derek.
All right, D-line, what we got?
Oh, no, we're just doing offense today.
Oh, okay.
We'll do defense another time. I was going to say, we got a show tonight.
Yes, sir.
Tell the people about it.
We're going to talk we're going to do some prospect breakdowns for the running back and all the guys that we have available to us, some of the top 30 visits we had at running back, and we're just going to go in depth on that position, speaking of Mixon. And I think throwing Mixon in there as well would kind of, as far as how he compares to the talent that's coming in, would be a good idea. What do you guys think?
Now, what if we did a kicker?
Yeah, let's do it right now.
You put
kicker?
Yeah, Jim Breach.
Jim Breach with Shane Graham.
Evan McPherson.
And Doug Pelfrey. That's the end. That's the end.
We can't put Evan McPherson in there yet.
Why can't we?
In there. Let's put Neil Rackers in there.
Nugent get on that.
Evan had one good year.
Nugent in the conversation.
Nugent.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
He didn't have it that many years, really.
I don't think Cam's feeling it, no.
How about everyone's favorite kicker, Fat Randy? Fat Randy,
yeah.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Fat Randy gets his own.
Maybe McPherson gets in by default because
that's what I'm saying.
He starts talking kickers, yeah.
I do think he does.
By default, man.
Hey, and he hit the iconic game winners that helped us to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he did.
Hey, he hit that 50+ yarder with Tennessee against Tennessee, man.
You cannot just
with it on the line.
He's on there already. That's what I mean. We put Burrow
in the
on
cold.
there.
It was like in the teens. That's rough, man. That was great.
See, I was thinking because of last year. It seemed like last year he didn't live up to the bill that he had the previous year.
Yeah, so. we can hopefully when he bounces back this year, we can easily give it to him next year. Because I would agree with that. Because then we're kind of contradicting ourselves where it's a 1-year wonder thing.
All right. Hey, long snapper, what you got? We got Cal Adamitis.
Clark Harris, Ed Brady.
Clark Harris, and Clark Harris.
Don't forget about Brad St. Louis.
Or Clark Harris's. Clark Harris with different facial hair on every photo. That's why Mount Rushmore, the long snappers, and you cannot admit that wouldn't be glorious. Just him with different facial hair.
Let's be beautiful.
Kick returners / punt returners. We can do this one. Tab Perry. Where do we see it? No,
we can't forget about Tremaine Mack.
Tremaine Mack.
You got to go Pac-Man.
Pac-Man too. Peter Warwick.
That too.
Peter Warwick.
On punts.
Hey, guys. Brandon Tate. What about Brandon Tate?
No.
Nah.
He was
there. Public enemy number one for a while.
He drove me nuts.
But he wasn't terrible. That's the thing. He wasn't bad at all.
Alex Erickson. Alex Erickson. No.
He would get some good. He would get some good returns, and then other times you'd be like, "Oh man."
Yeah. The fair.
Did any of the older guys do returns as well? I thought they did.
Lamar Parrish, didn't he
Yeah,
do
Parrish.
returns?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yep.
Parrish should be on that list too.
Wait. Who was the guy
Mhm.
for the late 80s that returned? His name was, he had a weird Ira Hillary. Didn't he return?
Oh, who returned in the Super Bowl? Stanford Jennings
Stanford Jennings, yes.
returned that against the 49ers and
Yes,
Super
longest
Bowl 23.
ever.
Yeah. So you come
Let
up
me
with
tell
a
you,
list
late
out of those.
80s, you know how much I remember about that?
Nothing.
I wasn't even born yet, so
I was going to say.
Hey, I was
couldn't-
6 months old.
I couldn't tell you. I've tried to do my research and stuff on that Super Bowl team and all that stuff, but
Dale, this is where we need Tom in
it just
here.
ain't.
Now.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
That's what I
there you
mean.
go.
You get a story and do this with, it'd be even more fun.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I thought our list was
Mhm.
good. Greg, don't shit on our list. They're good just because
I'm
Yeah,
not
it was definitely good,
you didn't get your way every time.
especially
Greg.
with that Rudy
Well,
Johnson over Cedric
Dale,
Benson. It's
Dale,
looking
it's
really
the right
good.
way, Dale. I'm sorry that I went it the right way. Excuse me.
All right, Malik.
Okay, let me ask you.
The
Let
right
me ask
way.
you guys this: since we are we're about an hour and 10 minutes in, I got a question for you that might break the internet. So, Patrick Mahomes, you would consider him, like, if he retired today, to go in the Hall of Fame, correct?
Yeah.
Or not?
Yes.
Yes,
I mean, yeah, 2 Super Bowl
Yes.
rings, like
Yes.
Yeah.
no hesitation at all.
No.
multiple
So,
MVPs,
what
right?
what does Burrow? Yeah, what does Burrow have to do to get in that conversation?
Multiple
MVP and Super Bowl. That's it.
Super Bowl.
Two,
MVP too.
You think
especially you
just
get 2 of them.
2
2
Super
of them.
Bowls?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, if he only gets 1, then he needs to have a long career of like stats that.
I'm gonna tell you why. Like, for me, I always said this: if Joe Burrow wins the Super Bowl, I don't care if it's 1, he goes on my all-time top 10 quarterback list. And here's why: when people say, all I heard all my life is it's impossible to win in Cincinnati. You can't win under Mike Brown management.
Mhm.
You can't. That's what I've heard all my whole life. And now one guy comes in and changes the franchise, has us going to the Super Bowl, AFC Championship game, and now if he gets a Super Bowl, I don't want to hear nothing else. Because you basically he's done the impossible that you told me. He's done what you told me that was impossible my whole life.
Okay, but if he wins 1, like they'll move that goalpost. Like we're not talking about our opinion. We're like, what will it take for him to get in based on how it is now? Where Willie
They will
should
look at
already
it and
be
say
in.
he won in Cincinnati. Dude. You can't sit up here. I understand you will say the goalpost move, but it can't move too much after you win the Super Bowl. They can't take that
I mean,
away.
I understand your argument. I just think that they would look at it like he needs to have a full 10-year career where he was in that MVP conversation, like he has been, the past 2 years. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Just keep doing what he's doing. He's going to be there. And then if he gets 1 ring on top of that, yes. But then if he also gets 2 and an MVP or 2 MVPs for a season, like then it's a no doubter type thing, like we just said with Mahomes. No matter if he plays 10 to 15 more years, like that's kind of my part of it is like, you can't just say, okay, next year he gets that 4 years in the league and then he retires. He played 4 years, got 1 ring. You know what I mean? I don't think that would be a Hall of Fame career at that point.
Yep.
They put Terrell Davis in.
And they have two Super Bowls.
Yeah, Super Bowl MVP.
They did that because he was on TV, and that's it.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, hey, trust me. If he wins 1, I don't give a fuck either. I don't give a fuck. He'll be on our own Hall. We'll create our own Hall of Fame if he wins the Super Bowl.
I'm already naming Joe
If they
Burrow
don't put him
Avenue
in.
for all I care. Yeah.
Yep, that too.
Like, I'm with y'all. I was just saying the other Hall of Fame, he'd at least have to have like a 10-year career doing what he's doing. Or
Well, no, Dale, I got a question for you. Do you think by the end of Joe Burrow's career, he'll be more popular than Pete Rose was? I know Pete Rose was a local, but will he be more popular than Pete Rose was?
I mean, I would imagine. And he doesn't seem like a guy who's going to have questionable character issues either. Because I mean, and I'm not talking about
You
the
mean
gambling.
He
I'm
ain't
not
gonna bet
talking
on the
about.
sport. Oh, okay.
I'm not even talking about that. They say Pete Rose.
Yeah.
There's some stuff with a minor and this and that. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, I've
I'm
heard
just
about
saying
that.
that they're like, hey, I don't know to
It's out
speak on
there.
it, but yeah, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you know, the way Burrow is, don't see like that man don't hardly do it. He goes to UFC fights and he goes to work.
Yeah.
That's about
Mhm.
it. So he ain't doing no dumb shit out on the side.
That's true.
So I think that would help the cause of him. Like,
Oh no, no. Good point. You're right.
Crib
All right.
Keeper, what do you mean why so serious? I'm just out here relaxing, enjoying this beautiful day.
Yeah.
he's actually not.
I'm never serious.
He's happy. He gets to come on the show. He barely gets to come on the show. So we're doing 1 at 8. And then he might not be on the show for a couple more weeks, even though the draft, because he's got to work more. You want to tell the people what happened?
Yeah. Yeah, my well, I better say this correctly because I don't want to. I gotta be PC. My transmission blew, in my truck. So and we got stuck on mandatory overtime for the next couple weeks. So gotta pay for that. Gotta pay the bills. You know all that stuff. So it's been a rough week for me. But
mandatory overtime at least works out to give you extra money to get the vehicle fixed. But still.
Yeah, a beautiful day like today, I'll be forced to go in instead of out here enjoying this beautiful weather.
Yeah. You drinking anything yet,
next
boss
week,
man?
if I didn't have to, hey, you know me. I'm not getting rowdy yet.
Come on now. I gotta push mow the yard. I ordered me a back brace. My back's been hurting. I'm so fucking old and fat and out of shape. I gotta put my back brace on. And then I'm gonna push mow the yard. I feel bad
for you, man. I'm about to hop on my zero turn.
Fucking rich. You're rich.
Hopefully, Derek, you didn't do what I did with lawnmowers. So
what? When you killed that duck?
Well, yeah, you don't know the story that I ran over a duck?
No, don't tell me about that shit, man.
Yeah, he's a duck murderer.
No, I didn't notice, but you know how I knew I did
Listen.
it. The duck.
Listen.
Whoa.
I might be a hunter, but I still care a lot about animals.
Listen. How many times you gonna say listen? Hey, Derek.
As many times as it takes for you to listen.
Crip said this at least 45 times.
No.
What did your nephew do in art class today, Crip? He's brought this up a million times. Before we get off here,
I actually rescued a rabbit last week when I was mowing.
And then you had sex with it.
Nothing? Okay.
Good Samaritan, man.
Yeah.
And then you had rabbits.
Hey, my T. Higgins jersey came in, by the way.
Oh, nice. Orange or
I'm
black?
just trying to wait till it's official, goddamn. So I get mine.
Yeah, I know.
Did you get the orange or black?
I got it. I got the orange version.
I'm trying
it's
to get
too clean looking, man.
The Orange Arrow should only have orange jerseys, honestly. To be fair.
You know what, though? I will say I was a little disappointed because they didn't have the Nike Vapor ones. Is it the Vapor? Not the Vapor. The ones that like fit really nice. They're like $180. I can't remember.
Oh, you wanted to spend more money.
I think it is the Vapor.
Yeah.
See, this guy's so he's talking about his transmission went out. That ain't nothing to you, big money. Your $180 jersey.
No, if my wife knew how much I spent on that, she'd be out here ripping my butt right now. I had to look to make sure she wasn't behind me.
So that's when they just show up. They just show up out of nowhere. She comes in from the side. You didn't even know.
Yeah, exactly.
Crip, you going to get to this punchline? Because we're about to end the show, Crip.
I know. He's holding us in suspense for the 8 o'clock show, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to freak a leak, and then I'm going to cut some grass, and then I'll see you on there at 8. I appreciate all you guys. Derek should appreciate you guys filling in for him every damn day of the week.
I appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know.
No worries.
And then he don't even. Then I'm
Somebody's
trying,
got it.
I'm trying to get on podcast for him. Derek's like, I've had a busy week. I'm like, shut up, bitch.
Well, hey, Derek,
You
why
know,
don't you
put
buy
us
me,
on podcast for him.
buy me a T. Higgins jersey also?
Yeah.
Greg, don't get greedy.
Buy you a T. Higgins jersey.
There you go.
Oh man, somebody's got to keep this guy in line too. So I really appreciate you guys doing that for me.
No worries. No worries.
Nah, no problem, man.
I'm usually pretty well behaved at 3:30.
Usually.
It depends on if he had to work or not. You know, he gets home at.
Well,
Well, you
yeah,
get
that's
home
what
right
I'm
about
saying.
3:30.
I'm just getting home.
You ain't got time to get rowdy yet.
Yep.
But it is a Friday night, guys. So come back, enjoy us. Let's go, Drew Sample. Yep, Tom. I appreciate that.
Big fan of Drew Sample.
Big fan.
All right,
Glad
apparently,
he's back. Glad he's back.
apparently Crip will give us the answer here during the video or at the 8 o'clock show.
Who that, guys?
Who dat?
Who they, baby? Let's go! It's time! Cincinnati, we gon' rise and up. In the jungle, we unite and up. Trippin' orange and black and white. All day when we fight. Live and die in these stripes. Now who got 'em, who rockin' on? Now who wanna move, tossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock 'em. Yeah, we got 'em. Yeah, we got 'em.